Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Q&J, sponsored by me. Yeah. So we're gonna once again be going over comments from last week. And my hair, as you can see, is kind of crazy right now. I don't know why, but maybe it's the weather. But I'm just having my crazy hair. Look at that, crazy hair, crazy eyes t-shirt. It's gonna be a fun day. You never can go wrong with double crazy hair and eyes combination. So, as it was said, we're going to start off with comments of last Q&J. Yeah. And I've decided that I'm just going to start off with the oldest comment and read it, going towards the newest. Simple as that. Fair method. Let's keep going. Yes. So starting off is Tori Ling. Hello, Tori Ling. And Tori Ling says, Grey Knights will be getting a new codex this year. I have started a Grey Knight army due to my local GW store birthday and people getting new armies. That's awesome! I like Grey Knights. I don't play them enough in battle reports. I really should play them. I really should build up my Grey Knight army. But it's getting to the point that where I do have enough models right now to paint up for my Grey Knight army, but I'm waiting for that new codex because I know the new codex is going to happen and I can kind of predict what's going to happen to it based on the previous codices. I.e., I'm guessing that they're going to remove some guys like some rules like bring this guy, these guys become troops. They've been doing that a lot with codices lately. So maybe Drago may not make paladins as troops. Also, paladins may not exist anymore. We'll see. I think they're going to still exist. And I have the feeling that the inquisitorial section will be maybe fixed, but the Inquisitor's got a new codex, a supplement, so we'll see. I'm excited. Either way, it's going to be great. I don't think they're going to be the next codex. I would guess probably Space Wolves are going to be the next codex based on what's happened, and also today they just announced a new kit with Space Wolves and Orks. It's not a starter set. It's like a campaign set. But it's pretty cool. I'm probably going to pick it up because I need more Orks, and it'll just be great. So thank you very much, Tori Ling. I'm glad you're playing the Grey Knights. They're a fun army, and it's kind of cool taking 15 models in a 2,000 point game. They may not survive, but it's a pretty fun game. Captain Common Sense 1 says, Greetings, Honorable Battle Brother. Greetings to you, Captain Common Sense 1. I was wondering if you will produce any narrative battle reports, maybe the Battle of Piscina 4, or the Conquest for Utu Prime. Also, I love your videos, and you have helped me grow as a semi-new hobbyist. Thank you. Thank you very much for the compliment. I'm glad I can help. Will I do any narrative campaigns? The answer is yes. But certain things have to happen first. Number one, I want to finish painting up all my terrain. I want to get some terrain looking nice and good for battle reports, because to do a really nice campaign, narrative campaign, I want to do it the best I can. I want to have some painted terrain, and then I want to have the two armies that I've decided fully painted. But yes, I will definitely be doing it. It will happen ASAP. I want to get one started, and it'll be a lot of fun. Definitely a lot of fun. And I have the two armies chosen. I think it'll be a fun combination of the two armies. And yeah, I would like to. Definitely. J.A. Rat 85 says, You forgot about Dan. I forgot about Dan. I don't know what I forgot about Dan, but apparently I forgot about Dan. I can't believe you didn't pimp out Codex Dan for Fantasy Battle Reports. Sorry, somebody asked in the previous video about Fantasy Battle Reports, and I mentioned Owen. And yeah, Dan. Codex Dan does some Fantasy Battle Reports. Personally, I see him more of a War Machine player. He does do some fantasy though, yeah. But right now he's really into War Machine. But definitely go check out Codex Dan. Dan from Mini Wargaming. And he does he's done some Fantasy Battle Reports. Usually I think of Owen, because Owen's been doing a lot of fantasy lately on top of War Machine. But it's okay. I want to see a Sui Ork Bama. Cool. Let's see if I can get one together. Ork goes up in a can, then purposely presses the button, and hopefully, of course, blows up the enemies, sending shrapnel in all directions. That sounds like a happy orc. Orc that blows himself up and takes out his enemies, that's a happy orc. So thank you very much, JRat85. Kruberax says, OMGJ, stop being so obsessed with Ludas being moved to 8. Jess. Happy support? Oh yeah. I'm over it now. But it was just somebody asked about what I like. It is a minor problem, if any. The rules provide ways around it. You're allowed to take as many of any number of combined attachments. You are correct. You can take any number of combined attachments. So I can bring the Ludas in. I just have to meet the minimum requirements of a detachment, and that is easy to do. I think anything above 1,500 points should be too hard. The real letdown are the rules actually changed. I love this new codex, but these are some. Oh, it's a long comment. Sorry, just all of a sudden got bigger. Things that trouble me. Number one, ramshackle. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A lot of the rules got taken away that made Orks fun and random and different. Got taken away, but it's okay. I've been playing with the new Ork Codex, and I like it. You know what? Maybe I'm going to be more positive. I'm going to do a review in a couple weeks. I want to do it 1 month after the Codex came out and discuss what I feel about the Codex at that point. What if I feel has gotten better as I've been playing? What do I feel better? What I feel is worse, if anything, and my impressions. I will do that, like I did with the Tyrannus Codex. Ramshackle, it was fun, characterful, and good. Defrola, nerfed from hilarious and awesome to just meh, boring and useless. 3 rocket packs, nerfed from fun and characterful to boring, potentially suicidal. That's what I mentioned in my thing about the rocket packs. 30 Storm Boys using jump packs equals at least 5 killed statistically. If they land on if they do dangerous terrain, I guess. Yeah, you'd expect 5 dead. Custom force field. The change to invul save is nice. The change to covers models instead of units, not so great. Yeah. And no access to invul saves with removal of 5++ from Cyborg body. Makes every Ork character, except for Warboss and Bike, a 1 smash kill for monster creatures. That is true. That's happened as well for Tyranids as well. No more invuls. Ludus heavy support, so what? 1 Ork boss, mech, pain boy, and 2 cheap mobs of Borg's Gretchen, and you could take another detachment. That's true. It's a very good point. You know, good question. Sorry, not good statement. Crew Barracks. I do completely understand it, and I did address most of those points in my review. But I agree, it's true. I just love Ludas, and it bummed me out initially. Jade Prout. If I got this right, Jay used to bring 9 cans and 3 squadrons, and now he's bummed out because in order to bring a Luda mob, he can only bring 12 cans and 2 squadrons. Okay, I know he's excited to bring 18 cans, but 12 is still more than 9, right? That is true. Cans did get weaker, though, unfortunately, but they're still a lot of fun. Okay, this new codex gives us plenty of new options, but forces us to make tougher decisions when building army lists, and I think that's fine. Jade Prout said that. Good comment, Jade Prout. But I also used to be able to take 9 cans and 2 Death Dreads. That's a different story. APOC Cruden says, Jay, tau is a number. It's 2 pi. I'm surprised you didn't know that. I actually completely forgot. And I remembered that after posting that I knew someone was going to address it, that tau equals 2 pi, pi being 3.14, so 6.28 is tau, and that's why June 28th was Tau Day. It made sense, but I read the comment a while after, I was like, what's Tau Day? Completely blew my brain. It's all good. Con S says, great video, Jay. I don't think you were being a negative Nancy. Thank you. You were upset with some of the changes made and gave a clear reason as to why you're upset. They upset you. It's good to stay positive or neutral when giving a review, but if you stay too neutral, then your review would be no different from anyone else because you're not expressing your opinion. Anyway, keep up the great work. Thank you very much, Connis. I agree with that statement as well. You know, that's the thing. I want to give my opinion. I don't want to be too negative, though. I don't want to be too negative in my reviews. I really don't. I know I got called on it, but I was having a bad day, and I read the codex, and it hurt my brain and my heart. But it's all good. I'm going to try to remain more positive in my reviews and give more constructive, rather than just focusing on the negatives. I should give some more constructive feedback on what we can do to do well with the new codex. You know, and I'm going to continue to do Codices reviews. It's awesome. I'm still waiting on my copy. I ordered one of the codex supplements a week and a half ago, and I still haven't gotten it yet. Still waiting for the the Gazgal supplement. Maybe I'll get it one day, and I'll do a review when I get it. Kurt Miller, when I mentioned the doom and gloom, it wasn't in regards to your videos. I was over on the DACA forums, so many threads about how bad the codex is, and how everyone's going to sell their army because of the new rules before they even play. I'm not going to sell my armies. regardless of how the Codex came out, I was never going to sell my army. Same with Tyranids. You know, that Tyranids Codex is not the best, but I'm still going to play Tyranids. I'm going to still play Orks. They're my favorite armies. And I love them. I love all the armies I play, I like for a specific reason, and I'm going to keep playing them. You know, nothing. I'm not a rules jumper or a bandwagon jumper. I will play them because I play for fun, but I love to see some codexes get some love. You know. I liked your review of the Codex a lot, though I thought Dan's was better. He's just orkier. That's true. Codex Dan, he's an orkier guy. I'm more methodical. I don't know. Personally, I like that Ludas are now heavy support. They were 90% of the time the only ones in the elite slot, which isn't how it should be. Now tank busters have a purpose because they're not living in the shadow of the Ludas. That's a good point. Jay Prout, I was a little disappointed by a lot of the new models because they don't fit my theme or my budget. Hehe. Good point, Jay Prout. But I think the Codex looks really good. I think there's options. I definitely think there's options. I played a couple battle reports, which I will discuss later in my question to you guys. But I've done some battle reports with them. They do well. You know what? They stood their ground against Tyranids. They did well against Dark Angels. And I think that there's going to be options. I don't think they're not by no means a last, tier army codex. I just think that they did remove some of the things that made them special. Kurt Miller. Also, I must admit, I strongly prefer your Q&Js compared to Matt's sit and talks. Thank you. So do I. Yeah. Though then the question must be asked, will you be answering questions on religion, politics, and sexuality like he does? That seems to have not worked all that well for him recently. That's a good question. A very good question. And right now, I don't know is the answer, unfortunately, Kurt Miller. I don't like alienating my audience, to be honest. I'm not a big fan of that. I'm a really live and let live type person. I'm easygoing. And I don't... That might answer the question right there. But, maybe. I don't know. If it comes up specifically, I don't know. I'll think about it, because that's a really one. Because I like to talk about stuff, and you guys get to know me, but I don't know. Because I know exactly what you're talking about when you mention it hasn't worked out well for him recently, and yeah, to put it politely, I do disagree with Matt on a few topics, and that might answer that right there. But it's okay. Matt can think whatever he wants. He's a good guy when it comes down to it. Dave's a good guy. And, yeah. So we'll see. Donus Lil? Donus Lil? D0 Donus Lil? You know what I'm talking about. Donus Lil. Donus Lil. Hey Jay, love your videos. Thank you, Donus Lil. Haven't gotten the new codex yet, but I like the Green Tide army type, so I think I may enjoy playing this edition. That's true, the Green Tide, if you bring 180 Slugga boys, you're going to love this new codex. It's fun, and I think it's going to be fun. Do you think that having everything scoring breaks the game a bit for those used to troop heavy lists? I don't know. Seeing as I kind of actually like the fact that everything scores. It's a fun dynamic. And the reason why I think it's a fun dynamic was you used to have to worry. Now, obviously, if you decide to bring troops, it does give you an advantage if you bring a troops heavy list because they can't contest something that is scored by your troops. But allowing everything to score really does it lets people take min squads of troops and, I guess, some heavy support lists or some fast lists. And I think it'll really increase the number of lists possible. Of course, for Tau will just bring insane amounts of firepower. So, again, I do understand your point. It could break the game, but it also makes it really interesting at the same time. And yes, I would think in the tournament scene you are going to see. My prediction would be you are going to see 2, perhaps min squads of troops, and then a lot of points focused in heavy support and elite. Some in fast, and obviously in HQ as well. But I think it's interesting. You know what? If it allows a Trigon to score an objective, that's kind of funny. or you know, it's interesting. But obviously, it still rewards those people who bring troop-heavy lists. They're going to be easier to squish, but you can't contest. I believe I'm correct when you can't contest an objective scored by a troop unless you have another troop contesting it. So, yeah. Next question, James and his stuff. Hey, James and your stuff. He says, hey, Jay, how's the warp going? The warp's going really well. Thank you for asking. I now have like 40-something videos in the warp. It's going well. Today on New Miniature Painting 101, part 32, I think, went up. So, because today's Friday. So that's really fun. I'm enjoying it. In the last month, I've put out like 30 videos for free and 30-something, maybe 40 videos in the warp. So I've been working, I've been a busy bee. And the warp's going really well. I'm going to continue working. Obviously, to those people, if you don't want to invest in the warp, no pressure. No problem, no ill thoughts of mine. I just, unfortunately our niche is so small that I'm going to need the warp to thrive in the short term. But it's okay. You know, I'm going to continue to make free content, make battle reports, make miniature painting 101s, make painting tutorials, and I'm going to keep making the warp as good as I can, and my free content as good as I can. So it's going well, but thank you very much for asking, James and his stuff. So check it out if you want a free 2-week subscription trial membership to the warp. Check it out. You're gonna see, because right now there's over 40 videos, and by the time what I'm doing is the prices are gonna increase. I started out with my original goal amount was $6, but I decided that asking people to invest $6 a month is not fair when you don't have any videos, right? So I decided that I'm going to start at $3 a month, and every 2 months for the first 6 months I'm going to increase the price by $1. So on August 1st, price goes up to goes up to $4 a month, approximately Canadian. And then October 1st, it goes up to $5. And then January 1st goes up to $6. So I'll begin the new year by my final price. And then after that point, it will never increase after that. But I just want $6. But by that point, in retrospect, I'm going to have almost 200, like I probably have, by the time I put out my final price, I'll have over 200 videos in the warp. So that'll be good. Christopher Tucker says, hey Jay, how are you? I'm good. How are you doing, Christopher Tucker? What Space Marine Codex do you think will be the next on the block of renewal? My guess would probably be Space Wolves. Space Wolves are the oldest codex right now in existence. It used to be Orks, and then Orks they were the last 4th edition that got a new book. And right now, it is the oldest 5th edition codex. The remaining 5th edition codices are Grey Knights, Space Wolves, Blood Angels, Dark Angel, and Dark Eldar. There might be more out there. I could be missing one. Well, that seems to be it. And Necrons. Necrons are technically like a 5th edition codex written for 6th edition. So it's okay. And right now the oldest codex is Space Wolves, and Blood Angels are the 2nd oldest codex. So I'm guessing Space Wolves is my guess, and then Blood Angels afterwards. Originally, the rumors were heavy that it was going to be Blood Angels, but it seems really right now they're pushing Space Wolf models, and the new 7th edition really did impact Space Wolves. So, way more than Blood Angels. So I think that they're going to come up with a new codex which will fix things. Maybe they'll get a random, I'm going to predict they might get like a random psychic chart, which will include Jaws or Murderous Hurricane or something, because they took them all away and really angered those Space Wolf players. Yeah. I'm personally hoping for Blood Angels. Well, I think Blood Angels will happen this year. My prediction is I would be very shocked if Space Wolves and Blood Angels did not happen by the end of this year. Probably in the next 6 months, we'll see easily both of them. As I have over 7,000 points of them, and they're completely useless outside of taking 3 Vindicators and small units spread out. Thanks for a great channel. Thank you very much, Christopher Tucker, and thanks for the comment. I really appreciate it. And Jade Prout. By the way, Jade Prout, thank you so much for leaving comments. Jade Prout's it's practically Q and Jade Prout. Jade Prout says, it's looking like Space Wolves. And I agree. That's what I'm thinking too. Probably Space Wolves. Robbie Keith says, you should change fields and pursue your PhD in designing a real-life orc race. That's a good idea, Robbie Keith. I like. Except, do I want to be responsible for possibly the end of humanity? If I create an orc race and they are good, like I mean good as in like they're super strong and they crush people, I'd be single-handedly responsible for the end of the world. I'm gonna have to think about that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about that. Blake Dawson, I'd love to see more Infinity. That'd be awesome. I would love to see more Infinity too. I just gotta paint up some Infinity, learn the rules, and get some terrain. So it'll take a little while. And as I said, Infinity is on my list. So are a couple other things. And I really just, I want to take things day by day, and Infinity looks like a good game. So I'm hoping to get some people in the area into Infinity. Same with Malifaux. Daniel Cross. Actually, 7th Ed is very friendly to assaulting armies. At least more than 6th Ed. I'd argue yes. I agree. I would agree. Yes, not much. Because the dynamics that really threw the swing towards shooting were Overwatch and removing from the front. And challenges. The -2 to difficult terrain is incredibly useful to close combat armies out there. That's true. The -2 does make it more predictable, and that's really good. It does increase the distance. Orks got a buff with Here We Go and the new Wa. Blood Angels have tougher vehicles, explode on a 7. Tyranids have tougher monster creatures, etc. I don't know why Tyranids have tougher monster creatures. They're just as tough as they were in 6th Ed. In fact, they're less tough. I don't know. It's subtle, but it's there. Also, Psychers kind of got nerfed. Yeah. Because their powers aren't as guaranteed as they were before. That's true. Also, fast vehicles, assault armies got stronger in the MOW missions. Because they're typically faster and tougher than shooting units. Zoom, a truck, assault marines, gargoyles onto an opponent's objective and win points while chopping them to bits. Good point. SAG, shock attack gun, big mech on a warbike, 110 points. Warbikes give relentless. Relentless means shoot the shock attack gun after moving 12 inches. Enjoy. Yeah, I'm really wondering if a Codex FAQ is going to come out with that, because I would love to see some FAQ, shock attack gun, big mech guy bikes. That would be amazing. Definitely. So thank you very much for your comment. Sorry for the big post. Just wanted to throw my 2 cents. No problem, Daniel Cross. Thank you very much for your 2 cents. It's appreciated. But on a side note, in Canada, we don't use cents anymore. Pennies are gone. Gone. They round. Jacob Pizzo. LOL. Thanks for answering my question, Jay. I will try my best to be awesome. Kind of fan boying out though now. Maybe bowing. No problem. Kind of fan bowing out there now. Thank you very much, Jacob Pizza. Is there a link to the warp? I put one in originally and then it just didn't work. I'll put a link in. I should put it in the description. I'll put a link in for the warp in the description, because apparently it wasn't working originally. Yeah. Where was that? There we go. Evan Christ. Hey Jay, who do you think will get a new codex? I've been hearing about Blood Angels, maybe getting one, but I'd like to see a new Necron codex. I would be excited to see the new models for them. My guess would be Blood Angels or Space Wolves next. Space Wolves probably, based on the love that they've been kind of receiving in the weird circumstances of 7th edition. But it could definitely be Blood Angels. It's going to be a Space Marine codex next, because Orks just got theirs. And yeah, my guess would be Space Wolves, but it could be Blood Angels. So I'm guessing either one will be next, and one will either be the one after that or one following that. But the way that GW's been blasting out codices, won't be a long wait for either. Jim White, thanks for answering my question. Thanks, Jim White, for supplying the question. Sean Moole, thank you for replying to my comment, Jay. No problem. I didn't make myself very clear. I was asking if you were going to start a new Orc army or buy all the new models. Haha, it seems like you have a lot on your plate with your Signar army and the Imperial Fist. That's true, I will be. But I am slowly painting up things. I work hard. I'm painting up Signar at the moment, but I will be buying some of the new Orc models. The Flash kits look great. I gotta pick up some more cans. I'm actually thinking of picking up that new campaign set that they just released because it has a set of cans, which I want, a set of knobs that I want, a really cool looking war boss, and some grots. And that alone comes to like $130 Canadian. The set itself is $150, plus you get all the Space Wolves. Couldn't toit. Steve Juranich. Yes. Uranic. I'm not good at pronouncing things. Hi, Jay. This might be a kind of dumb question. Don't worry. But are the little air compressors that you get from the hardware store at all suitable for running an airbrush? Most of them, no. But some of them could be. Depends on the PSI that they currently work with. Most air compressors that are just the cheaper ones are set up for 1 PSI. And if they're set too high or too low, they wouldn't be good. So it honestly just depends on the air, and some of them wouldn't connect. I recommend just the little elephant ones that you can get at a hobby store. They're a great starter airbrush compressor. It'd be a lot easier for me to shell out the money if I knew I was getting something that could be used outside of my hobby pursuits. Thanks. I don't know, actually. It's a good question. So leave a comment in the comment section if you know the answer to this question. I will honestly say I don't think so, depending on the model. Most of them would be too strong, but if you know a specific one that you can be used at a hardware store as well as for airbrushing, leave one in the comment section down below, viewers. And that's a great thing about Q&J. If I don't know the answer, someone else might. Bradley McDuff. Jay, I think a cool idea would be to take in lists and critique them based on the armies you own and play, as opposed to making your own from out of the codex. This saves you having to build the list yourself and spend that time, and instead work on the actual movie, making the end critique of it. This would probably also give you ideas for lists to throw at each other with your lady. Excellent. Good idea. You know, I should do that. I'm going to put up a video probably next Monday with a new email address and some new information about stuff, a new Facebook page and all that stuff. So it'll be in there. And I'm going to ask you guys if you want to send me lists to do it. Definitely. Because I'll gladly play lists. I don't mind at all. If you want me to play a certain list and I have the models, I'm going to do it. Why not? Might as well. And I'll even mention it. So it'll be good. Dr. Octopus. The greatest name ever. Dr. Octopus. What's your thoughts on the layout, format of the new 7th edition Orc Codex when compared to 6th edition ones such as Space Marines or Guard? It's interesting. I think you're referring to specifically the new layout where I actually really like to divide it up into HQ, Elite, you know. The new Codex, it's interesting. It seems more like a kind of a cool catalog, you know. It's interesting. I like it. I think the pictures, to me, the quality of the codices is definitely going up. The pictures are going up. Like, it has so many, it's filled with so many awesome paint jobs, you know. So many great painted models. So, yeah. You know, I don't mind it. And the new codex, it's just going to get used to, you know, the symbols at the top left, meaning what the army part is. But the old parts were kind of easier to follow. Barrett Muscleman. Strength D is not what it was. Only rolls of 6 remove cover or invul saves, otherwise you get them. Oh, cool. I find it funny, D weapons are supposed to be the strongest weapons in the game, yet there's a chance a model can be saved by standing in a bush or behind a tree. Yeah, that's kind of weird to me too. It was kind of like the old D, where invuls were allowed to be taken against D. So you have a squad, like Strength D should be blowing up the world, but there's a squad of Terminators with storm shields just hiding there like, well, we survived that. You know, doesn't make much sense. But yeah, I understand giving back the invul saves, but I think they should still ignore cover on all rolls 2 and above. I agree. That'd make more sense because they'd obliterate the cover in the first place. It's kind of like in that latest Indiana Jones when he survives the explosion by being locked in the fridge. I don't get that. Wah Negrom says wah. That makes sense why he's Wah Negrom. I'll be adding a Morkanaut with custom force field and Grot Riggers with my mech to my clan soon. Excellent. They're great. The more I play with the Morkanaut, the more I love it. I love the Morkanaut. 5+ from the mech's tools combined with the It Will Not Die from the Grot Riggers. Only awesomeness at its best. Exactly. Orky awesomeness at its best. Rect says, I'd say the skill split in any mini war game is 70% list building, 30% actual play. Interesting breakage. Okay. The advent of the interwebs has made it easy to find the best lists, as he says, but it can make it easier for metagamers to play against it well. That's true. Very true. As they will know that 90% of people will be bringing to any tournament. Exactly. And there's this always fun game of thinking one level ahead of your opponent. You know, you go to a tournament with the most unpredictable list, and sometimes you'll win because everyone else has designed their list against a certain list. You know, like after Necron Flyers came out, everyone, early in 7th, everyone was designing their list against air, right? And I remember it was a draw pod list that won a bunch of tournaments in a row because everyone was designing their list to destroy Necron Flyers, but no one went against draw pod spam with Meltas. So it's quite funny. So, very good point. A Cascanet says, FYI, if a Kickstarter does not reach its goal, it is automatically failed. Probably wasn't their choice. I was under the impression, a Cascanet, I thought, I could be wrong, but I thought that if you fail, you have the option of keeping the money, but a larger portion of it goes to Kickstarter. They take a larger cut. And as well as the people have the right to take their money back. But you can still keep the money, I thought. I could be wrong, but I thought that was the circumstance. So leave a comment in the comment section below if you know the rules. I've never done Kickstarter or Indiegogo, and I probably won't do one ever. So, yeah, leave a comment in the comment section down below. And finally, Lewis Waring says, Hey Jay, viewer from England. Hey! Viewer from England. That's cool. I was just wondering, what would be a good start for a new Orc player who just wants to play for fun? Thanks for any input. Keep up the great work. A great start for any Orc player is buy the Battle Box, the starter set. It comes with boys. You need boys. So regardless of how you play, you need boys. Let me just double check the kit while I'm here. But it comes with boys. I think 20 boys in the squad. Or maybe they've gotten rid of the starter set, so I might be recommending something else. I definitely recommend picking up boys. Boys are the foundation of an Orc army, so pick up some squads of boys. Yeah, I think they got rid of the battle set. Maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, they got rid of it. But the old starter set would have been great. Now, I guess if you have a friend that could split the Sanctus Reach Stormclaw, that'd give you some cans. That'd be fun. But yeah, starting off, you need, for an Orc player, I'd recommend picking up a War Boss. Boys. That's the key. They're the foundation. If you're playing for fun, next decide, after you pick up the boys, I'd say at least like, you gotta buy some boys. 90 boys kind of thing. But maybe 60 boys at least to start. And then after that, you decide what type of theme do you want to add to your list. Do you really like the can wall that I like to run? And then in that case, you pick up the cans. Do you want to run Speed Freaks, where you buy the bikes? Do you want to run, Battle Wagon spam? Then you pick up Battle Wagons. But the core to any list would be a War Boss and boys. And maybe some Ludas. They're a great heavy support choice now. Because if you feel like Ludas before. Yeah. As far as that goes, that's all I recommend. Maybe and some Big Mechs. Or Pain Boy. Pain Boys are great because they give now the Feel No Pain to your squads, and you can take them as HQs. So Pain Boys or Big Mechs if you want to run Big Mechs in your squads. That's the kind of thing I'd recommend thinking about. And then after that, think about, do you want to run Slugga Boys or Shooter Boys? Do you want to run a fast list? Do you want to run Canwall? Do you want to run Knobs? And then from there you go. But any one of those lists can be fun as well as competitive. So if you're a fun player, you can really play anything and have fun with Orcs. That's kind of the theme of it. So there you go. I hope that answers your question. I don't mean to dodge out, but the core of any Orc list are boys and probably a War Boss. So yeah. So that's all of it. That's all my comments. That's it for the day. That's it for my Q&J. So now I just want to ask you guys a question, because I want to get information from you guys at the same time on my Q&J. Now recently I did a battle report with my wife, and a good chunk through the battle report and she had to leave. And she came back at some points, which you can tell by her voice, but I filmed a large chunk of it by myself. And I was completely open about this. I put it in the description and I put it in my post game, I mentioned it. that I was filming by myself at some points. And what I did is I just edited the footage of the turns so that it made it consistent. Now I'm wondering with you guys, now what do you think about if I can't line up an opponent, I can't film battle reports? I never really thought about running solo battle reports. I know Matt did them once, but after filming them, and the reason was I continued the battle report was I didn't want to lose all the footage. It was a great game so far, and I want to keep it going. And I know how to play both armies, so I'm wondering, what do you guys think of me playing the occasional J versus J battle report? If I can't line up an opponent, I can still make battle reports, and I think they're going to be of decent quality. I know it might be annoying me playing against myself to some people, but leave a comment in the comments section of what you think about that. If you would be okay with me playing J versus J battle reports, that way I can still create them if I can't line up any opponents. I still make content. I think it'd still be worth watching, in my opinion. That's just my opinion. So thank you so much for all your comments that I got to answer this week. And please leave a comment in the comment section down below. I will make sure that in this description I put a link to the warp. Now if you can't see the link, the YouTube channel is, if you just type in www.youtube.com/user/channel-the-warp. And that's it. So thank you so much for leaving your comments. I really hope you enjoyed this Q&J. Please like the video, subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so, and leave a comment. That's the important part. Leave a comment. And we will talk about this next week. So thank you very much. Till next time, this is Jay saying, happy painting.